It's great. I'm absolutely thrilled. Came here in January 2020. Of course, we had the pandemic and all that kind of stuff going on, and managed to win a league title, and we stayed in Etan. And of course, I was familiar with Vänersborg from years gone by, but I was, when the club spoke to me about it originally, I was keen to set my future, because I think there's so much that we can do here, and the club's improved so much within the last 12 months. And, I feel like a real Vänersborger, eh? I'm delighted, and I'm delighted that it was done, and it's been done quickly. There was no huge negotiations necessary. Couple of small points that we just needed to revisit and agree on. So I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm looking forward to the next 3 years. I think there's a lot of exciting times. We've had exciting times. It's been fantastic, and I love it here. And of course, we got a real Vänersborg weather day today. Beautiful sun, and when I came, it was full of snow. So I think the weather came out for us as well today. The biggest thing for me in any contract, and always has been throughout the course of my life, is what is the scope for improvement? Is there any, what's the ambition? What's the scope? What can you do if you are somewhere where you feel you've reached the end of the journey? Then staying there, you're only just going to go through the motions, and it's just going to become. I still have tons of ambition. I still have tons of enthusiasm. I believe in my genuine heart of hearts that if we can become a little bit more successful off the field in terms of fundraising, and of course everybody's got to help out, the public, the local sponsor, the local council, then I don't see, and I haven't seen any reason for 2 years why we couldn't take the next step. Now, of course, talk is cheap, and words are cheap. You've got to actually get around and do it. But I genuinely think that, having looked at Etan, which is a very strong league, but I don't see why we can't take the next step. And of course, there's a lot of pieces that have to fit in the jigsaw for that to happen. It just doesn't happen by wanting it. You've got to try and go out and get it. But to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't have signed if I didn't think it was possible, because otherwise what you're signing for, there are other opportunities out there for me. I've spoken to people. I've never really been interested in leaving. I told the club that I wasn't really interested in leaving, only to try and secure a period of time that would be realistic and relevant to try and push the club forward. And that's my only motivation, is to try and push the club forward. There's so many good people here, so many people who've put everything, literally everything that they've had into the football club. And I feel like I'm one of those people. I feel like I'm in the same mould. So from that point of view, the ambition, the vision, I don't like to use the word projects, it's a bit overused, but the scope for improvement, there's a lot of scope for improvement. This journey is not over. It's usually important at a club like ours that is not with the greatest of will in the world. We're not the most affluent and rich club in the area, and that's not that's not pouring cold water on what our ambitions are, and it's not pouring cold water on what we've achieved or the history of the club. But the facts are the facts. And of course, getting the best players in the area when you've got other clubs that have better financial resources at this level, because they've been here for a longer time, then it becomes difficult to do that. So you must have a conveyor belt. And I've got to say that below the junior team is where it really gets exciting, because of the talent that is in those young teams. And what signing for 3 years is going to do is hopefully allow me to see some of that talent come through to the fore. We have more players from Vänersborg such as Hugo Engström, such as Fabian Falkstrand. And of course, the other thing is to be able to keep those players if we can. Now, you can't always keep your best players when you're at a club like ours, because as sure as night follows day, bigger clubs want them because they're good. But what we've got to be able to try and do is to provide a conveyor belt over the period of the years, and hopefully that this time gives me and the rest of us the chance to do that.